behind, yeah. I'm minding my business all of the time, yeah. I'll make my training and I'm about to climb it. On top of the mountain is my perfect climate. It gives me a spiritual
microphones are really good. Fix it.
choking on this truth that I'm a perform behind it. But if you back it, goes about wickedness, I'm gonna define it. I prayed for redemption one day and he helped me find it. Yeah.
That's a hand, huh? That's a hand? Who is that?
Shabbat shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom,
Shabbat
and
shalom.
shalom.
Hiskia. That ain't Hiskia. Look, that East Coast Hiskia. Who is that?
Can y'all hear us? Can I get a 7?
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom.
How's it going?
Oh, how about I turn my speaker up and see if that helps? Okay, let me try that again, fam. Akoti Christine, Shabbat Shalom. Can you open your mic up again so we can see if we can hear you?
Shabbat shalom.
There we go. I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly well.
That's it.
So Red was asking what that is. I'm gonna bring it back to the beginning for you. So that is, y'all seen this brother? He posting his videos in the Footage Conversations group.
Yeah.
His brother Judah Matthias.
Who got the Hebrew Griot shirt on? Oh, what? This a cut.
Yeah,
What?
I like that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to plug, bruh. Sunday.
Dang.
I gotta plug them.
Yeah. Hallelujah for the good audio. Hallelujah for the Shabbat. Hallelujah for the fellowship.
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah, because goodness, it's been a heck of a week. It's been a doozy of a week. This is my first night home since Monday night.
Hey, been gone all week.
All week. Yeah. Yeah. So, roll call. Shabbat Shalom. Akoti Gibor. That's Tamika.
Hebrew name is Gabor.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, Akoti Gibor, and Yoish.
Cain, Shabbat Shalom.
The Hebrew common sense.
Cain. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Akoti Latasha, and family and household.
Akoti Latasha.
Shabbat Shalom, Akoti Angela, and Big Ak Dawi.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey, fam.
Oh, y'all pray for our internet tonight.
How y'all be?
Pray for our internet tonight, honey.
Ours too. We struggling too.
Shabbat Shalom, Koti Leslie.
Shabbat Shalom, Akoti Leslie. Hey, y'all know how it be. Middle of the month toward the end of the month when them gigabytes get to wearing out, running out.
Oh, especially without you.
Shabbat shalom.
We can hear that.
Now we storming over here in Georgia.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think a Koti Keisha just came in. Shabbat Shalom, Koti Keisha.
Shabbat Shalom, Shalom. So, we're dealing with them shofars this week, you say?
Okay, my brother.
That's going to be a good read, fam.
The law of the shofar.
The law of the shofars. So, just real quick, are y'all aware? I know y'all are aware that different shofar blasts mean different things. But are y'all aware of who's actually in the congregation of Israel when we congregate together? Now, you could have somebody blow shofar in your immediate household. Fine, nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But are y'all aware of who's supposed to blow the shofar? Among the congregation of Israel, among the 12 tribes? Like whose duty it was, do y'all know?
Is it Levi's?
I'm asking them, not you, because I expect you to know.
Was I right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Y'all know?
Any go ahead.
No, I expect you to know too.
Judah. Is it Judah?
Did we freeze up? Or are we good?
I said Levi. He said no. Is it Judah?
Okay, it's the Levites.
Man,
This one
come
here
on.
gave it away.
Come on, man. Come on.
I can never ask a question around this one. This one and her middle child, they just like. You remember that one kid in class that was always jumping the gun to let everybody know they knew it? And you wanted to give him a funky head.
Oh.
Tell him, sit down and get somebody else's chance.
Yes, you know. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that, because I'm that kid. So don't do that.
No, I studied. I'm proud. I studied last night.
That's good. That's good.
Shabbat shalom, family, and I'm that kid too.
Who was that?
Hey, who's that?
Oh, okay, there you go,
Shabbat
sis.
Koti
Shabbat shalom.
Shatana.
Quiet as kept I was too.
Koti Antoinette and Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shabbat shalom, big sis Antoinette. I see
Hey.
Dawid or Dawood. You know, among Israel, we got so many different ways to pronounce everything,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast,
Mm-hmm.
north side or the south side. So I know people say Dawid. I know some say Dawood.
Mm-hmm. North side, no, south side, west side. Everything, south side, west side.
Always a competition with you.
South side, west side, everything.
I'm gonna need y'all not to mention Dawid around me, okay? I hear that enough around my household.
You got a Dawid?
You know, we got a Dawid that fellowship with us every.
No, my husband, I'll be listening to the YouTube channel so much, and he like how you say Dawid. So this fool be walking around the house yelling Dawid. All the time.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we are going to be picking up.
Hey, Coachy Tasha. Shalom, everybody.
Shalom. That's big sis Antoinette.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So picking up in chapter 10, and I think Coach Real gonna kick it off. Yep.
Better one funny one kicked it off. Not right now. I mean, eventually, yeah. Okay.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Buckle y'all safety belts.
Can I get a 7 if I could be heard? Can I get a 7 if I could be heard?
Just
please?
know you're on a delay and just it's gonna pick it up in the court.
Okay,
that's not
7.
bad. Hallelujah.
Okay. Coach Gilead in the house.
Shalom, Coach Gilead.
Shabbat shalom, sis.
Hello.
And fam.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. We are in Numbers chapter 10, picking up at verse 1. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, make 2 silver trumpets for yourself. Make them of beaten work, and you shall use them for the gathering of the congregation and for the breaking of camp. And when they blow both of them, all the congregation shall meet before you at the door of the tent of appointments. And if they blow one, then the leaders, the heads of thousands of Israel, shall gather to you. And when you blow a shout, the camp that lie on the east side shall depart. And when you blow a shout the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall depart. They blow a shout for them to depart. And when the assembly is to be assembled, you blow, but do not shout. And the sons of Aharon, the priest, blow with the trumpets. And it shall be to you for a law forever throughout your generations.
Now, real quick, just take a quick pause there. I'm gonna go to eastward, y'all, and I'm gonna give y'all the definition of blow. I'm not gonna share my screen. I'm gonna give y'all the definition of blow and shout in the Hebrew, and I'm not gonna tell you what I think that means. I will tell you that I've heard different types of shofar blasts. So you got the, and then you got the long blow, and then you got the. So I would say Google and hear what those sounds like, but also read the definitions and see what kind of makes sense to you. Because I don't want to give you my opinion on it. I do have an opinion, but I don't want my opinion to steer you wrong. Coach Antoinette, come on while I'm pulling up the definitions, and you can come on to the mic.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, for us to be able to recognize that, I'm like, what is blow a shout? But like you said, I didn't think Google, so I could hear it.
Yeah, and then compare what you see in, YouTube, whatever. Compare what you hear to what we read, and I'm going to read you these definitions real quick. And be aware, because of course you're going to get a lot of Ashkenazis give you their opinion, and they could be right, but then they could be wrong. So
Very careful
don't automatically go with what they say.
Okay.
So when I'm in verse 5, when you blow an alarm. So
The KJV say alarm rather than shout.
So blow in Numbers 10 is H8628, and it's the same as in verse 4. So both of those blows are the same word, and it is takah, Tawkah. I'm pronouncing that phonetically, and it says a primitive root to clatter, that is to slap, as in hands together. Okay, clang, an instrument, by analogy to drive, like a nail or a tent pin or a dart. By implication, so it can imply to become a bondsman by hand clasping. So like being shackled, I guess. Blow, a trumpet. Cast, clap, fasten, pitch, tent, smite, sound, strike. Short shit?
Short shit?
I don't know. Or to thrust. So a thrust. Alarm. When you blow a shout, here it says alarm. That is H8643. H8633 is to roar. Y'all should recognize that. It is the same word for the feast or the moed that we keep. Yeah. Keep is not the word I was looking for. Observe.
Observe, yeah.
For the moed that we observe called trumpets. So the word in Hebrew for trumpet is teruah. So the feast of teruah, and this word alarm is also teruah. Wow. So the feast that we keep called teruah is the same as this word that says when you blow a shout or when you blow an alarm. It is teruah. H8643. It says it is from H7321 to clamor. That is
acclamation.
Thank you. Acclamation of joy or a battle. So it can be for acclamation of joy or a battle, or a battle cry. I apologize. Or a battle cry, especially clangor of trumpets as an alarm. Alarm, to blow or blowing. Blowing of trumpets, joy, jubilee, loud noises, rejoicing, shouting, high, joyful sound. Okay. Now I'm gonna look at that word that it says it comes from. It says it comes from 7321. So this is, like I say, this is how we do our studying, y'all. We want to look at something a little bit more in detail. From H7321. So H7321 is ruah. Very close to ruah.
Sure is.
Ruah. Ruah. Primitive root to mar, especially by breaking. Break that up over there. Figuratively, to split the ears. So this should be loud. That joyful noise should be loud, right? To split the ears with sound, that is to shout for alarm or joy. Blow an alarm, cry, alarm, aloud, or cry. So cry alarm, cry aloud, or cry out. Also to destroy.
Remember the walls of Jericho?
Came tumbling down. Yes, they did.
Mhm.
To make a joyful noise. Smart, shout for joy. Sound an alarm or triumph. So remember, that was a battle cry also. Now, I don't think it's coincidence that the battle cry and the joyful noise is using the same word, because if the battle was given to you, it should be a joyful noise. Was there another one? A second time, blow, same word. Alarm, same word. Okay, so those are the two we need to know: to blow and to have an alarm. Those are the two we want to have the definition of. All right.
All right, that's good. So we read that this is a law forever. This is important. It has to be a reason why he told us this. He don't say things for nothing.
Shabbat shalom, Koti Celeste. I see you.
Shabbat shalom, Koti Celeste. Okay. And we pick it up at verse 9.
All right.
And when you go into battle in your land against the enemy that distresses you, then you shall shout with the trumpets, and you shall be remembered before Yahuwah, your Elohim.
So that's the alarm.
And you shall be saved from your enemies.
Oh, yeah.
So the bruise was, somebody walk up on the bruise like, we taking this. Bruise blow a shofar, and Abiyah send down the brigade.
It reminds me of, like, Rib always talk about this feeling that come over certain people, like when a battle finna happen, and you get a surge of joy, like, if y'all giving you the battle, why not?
Yeah.
Don't be promising me no good time. You say we finna do what? Take the kingdom?
Okay. And in that day, in your gladness, and in your appointed times, and at the beginning of your new months, you shall blow the trumpet over your ascending offerings.
Stop. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish that verse.
And over your slaughterings of peace offerings. And they shall be a remembrance before you, before Elohim. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. Let's
slow that down just a little bit and make sure we got that. And in the day of your gladness, hey, we're talking about overcoming our enemies, overcoming our oppressors. Those are days of gladness. Okay. And it says, and in your appointed times. That means when you're keeping your feast days, or your Moedim, more accurately stated. As you opening up for your Moedim, we're guilty of not doing this all the time, but we need to. You should be opening up your feast days with the blowing of trumpets, right? And then it says, and in your new months, right? So if you're having issues making sure you're keeping up with your Hebrew calendar, have somebody blow the shofar on the first day of every new month, and then keep it in your remembrance every new month when the new month for the Hebrew calendar is. I assigned somebody to do it in our house. He hasn't been on it, but we need to get back to that, right? Blow a shofar in the beginning of every new month. This says that's a joyous occasion. It's a joyous occasion.
We blow a shofar to announce prayer.
We blow a shofar to bring in the Shabbat, every Shabbat.
Yeah. So every morning, 9 o'clock, my son blow a shofar.
Okay.
That let everybody know it's time to pray.
In the day of your gladness.
Okay. And that shofar we hear, that's a peculiar sound. And obviously Abiyah recognized that sound. That's a sound that gets his attention. Okay. That shofar, that ram's horn, Okay. And it came to be on the 20th day of the second new month in the second year that the cloud was taken up from above the dwelling place of the witness. And the children of Israel departed, setting out from the wilderness of Sinai. And the cloud dwelt on it in the wilderness of Paran. Thus they departed the first time according to the mouth of Yahuwah by the hand of Moses. And the banner of the camp of the children of Yehuda departed first according to their divisions. And over their army was Nahshon, son of Aminadab. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel, son of Zuar.
Real quick. So we went over the heads of each one of these tribes just last week, I believe. But here's repeating it. So if y'all repeating it, that means that it's something that he may have wanted us to know. But there's also, very importantly here, the order of departure. And we departed in this order every time we broke camp.
Everything in order and decency. Everything in order.
And decency.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing where that ram's hole blew and everybody started walking towards the cloud.
No.
That was out of order.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And then over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel, son of Zor. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab, son of Helion. And the dwelling place was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari departed, bearing the dwelling place.
Why did it say the sons of Gershon and Merari? Well, we just read that those were the sons of the tribes of Levi who dealt with breaking down the temple and the utensils and the actual dwelling place and all that.
Yep. And the banner of the camp of Reuben departed according to their divisions. And over their army was Eltsur, son of Shedeur. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Shimon was Shemuel, son of Zurishaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Gad was Elisapha, son of Duel. And the Kehathites departed, bearing the set apart objects, while the dwelling place was set up before they came. And the banner of the camp of the children of Ephraim departed according to their divisions. And over their army was Elishama, son of Ammihud.
I know I keep jumping in there.
Okay.
I love how beautiful this order is, because you had, first of all, Levi was always in the middle.
Right.
So you had the tribes in front of them, the Levites in the middle carrying the most set apart things, and then tribes behind them. And even when they set up camp, when they set up the camp, Levi was in the middle. But you had the sons of Levi that dealt with the actual dwelling place go ahead. Yeah. And then you had those who had the utensils and stuff, of the set apart objects come behind them. So like when they got to where they was going, by the time those who had the set apart objects got there, the ones who carried the dwelling place was already there, had finished set it up. So here they come with the utensils right on time to actually bring the utensils inside the temple. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Perfect order.
Perfect order.
Natasha had her hand up.
Come on, Coach T, what you got?
Oh no, I was going to say the same thing. I was say the way he set it up with the divisions, he put the 3 in front that was in charge, and then to protect the Levites with the dwelling place, and then they set it up, and then he put 3 more in the middle of them with the Levites, and then they took so they could always be protected. And then I guess because he broke it down in quarters.
Yeah.
So when he broke it down in quarters, the 3 tribes went first, and then the Levites. More tribes like that. So I was thinking the same thing when you said it. I'm like, he set it up so as they moved out, you could just put everything in and nobody have to touch anything, so nobody have to die. Everybody did their job.
Perfect order. If everybody departed in the correct order, it was perfect order.
And like you say, in quarters. So 3 to the north, 3 to the south, 3 to the east, 3 tribes to the west. Just like it's gonna be in the kingdom.
Yep.
Just like it's gonna be in the kingdom.
Yep.
Okay. And then with soldiers. And guess what? If it really got down to the nitty gritty, you know what I'm saying, and those other tribes needed them to, them Levites was gonna jump in there as warriors.
But you forget what was the 2 brothers who rolled in on Shechem them after they raped Dinah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Simeon
and Levi. Levi been about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Levi ain't no joke. Them priests, man, look, them priests, and like if y'all read Maccabees, it was the priests that sent it up. You know what I'm saying? They like, look, we ain't, look, pick up your swords.
And as a matter of fact, it was the reason.
With Levi,
go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, even with Levi, when they was in the when they first came out of Egypt and they had did the calves, and Yahuwah said, "Who is for me?" And Levi stood up first, and then he went in and just like slaughtered everybody. He was like, "Kill them all."
Yep.
He slaughtered everybody and came back, and he was like, "This is gonna be my priesthood. They're gonna be blessed."
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, them Levites, man, them Levites bout it. They will roll up on you. You don't want to see them.
As a matter of fact, what I was gonna throw out there is like, if the story behind the reason why Levi was given the priesthood is because it was Levi himself who said that Jacob wanted to make peace with Shechem after what happened to Dinah happened. And Levi was like, nah,
nope,
they gotta die. And when Levi and Simeon, and Levi led that charge with Simeon, went and they slaughtered all of Shechem's tribesmen, and they killed all of them.
By themselves.
Just two brothers.
Just two brothers. It
killed
was just
a nation.
Two of them. Sure did.
And Yahuwah deemed that to be righteous.
Yep.
And because Levi judged righteously, that's why Levi was given the priesthood among the nation of priests.
Yep.
So we supposed to be a nation of priests. Yep. But even among the nation of priests, there's a priest tribe.
Yeah.
And then a high priest even among the priest tribe.
It's why it is. It says Judah is the king.
Yep.
And Levi is the priest.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason, man. Look, don't run up on them Levites thinking, I know when you picture priests.
Nah, these ain't the Levites from the Ten Commandments.
Right, the Ten Commandments movie. They is not the same. You know what I'm saying?
These Levites is more like if there was a black version of the priest in the movie Priest.
Yeah.
Where they was guarding the kingdom. We say vampires, but Nephilim, demons, and all that stuff was trying to get into the kingdom.
That's what the Levites was
that's
like.
more like what the Levites was like.
Dang. Yep.
They was definitely wolves.
Yeah,
they were vampire slayers.
They didn't, they weren't gentle souls. They weren't gentlemen, you know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, I mean, if you really pay attention to their travels through the wilderness, y'all sent them to each of these nations that was intermingling with the fallen and with the Nephilim.
Yeah.
And he was sending them to them, and they was coming peaceably, like, Yahuwah bless you.
Yahuwah bless you.
I just asked to pass through.
Let me pass through.
I'll pay for my water. I'll pay for my. Nah, you can't pass through.
We won't touch nothing.
And then y'all say, go in there and kill everything.
Yep.
Because what they have in there is an abomination. And then was, again, the whatever you want to call them, but the vampires, the giants and all that. So he was sending the nation of Israel to slaughter all of that stuff that was abominable. These was vampire slayers.
If y'all knew how much work went into erasing the evidence of the old world to prepare the world for this what is this new world order? What does it say? New secular. To prepare the world for this secular world. If you knew how much effort and time and years went into erasing the evidence of, giants and oh my goodness, some of the crazy, you know what I'm saying? Some of the crazy things that used to be everyday knowledge to humans.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like some people call it like a reset took place, but they've gone through great lengths to erase what the world used to be, because what the world used to be, it was evident that there was a higher power. There was no question.
Look at some of these shows like Ancient Aliens and the History Channel, and even go to some and don't get too caught up in the conspiracies. But look at some of these people that are showing you the evidence and they're telling the stories, like soldiers who go over into the Levant. The region is called the Levant, and are telling you about battles they had with things that
ain't supposed to exist.
That snatched America's super soldiers up, and then when they finally won those battles and brought the carcass out, another entity of the government come in and swoop it up and take it away. Where they think they're taking it back to their base. I apologize for the disconnect. We had to borrow a little bit of juice from one of our children on their hotspot, so we back.
Welcome back.
Told her, I'm glad y'all hung in there. I was like, they gonna be gone by the time we get back.
They used to us now. They used to us.
Welcome back, Hop.
Told her.
Do one of y'all have
my brother O'Shea? We also got a.
Do anyone have T-Mobile?
It's not the internet. It's not like the brand says. It's that we got satellites, so it don't matter what carrier you have out here where we at in the sticks.
Oh, okay. I would say because T-Mobile was giving out like free hotspots up to 32 million people.
Mm-hmm. It worked real good.
I'm gonna look into
I
it.
actually got 2 of them.
Thank
I was actually gonna ask you if you needed one, Ruby. I could send you one. I got an extra one.
We need one. Let's see if it works. Real quick, I just want to welcome my brother just popped in, O'Shea, but we also got somebody new to our fellowship. One of my co-workers, my brother Alfred. What's going on, Aki? Shalom, brother.
Welcome. Shalom.
Welcome, Aki.
Now you can feel free to. It's not you don't know. You can feel free to jump in if you want to, brother. If you want to just chill back and listen, you can do that too. It's all good. Just the brother I was telling you, me and him rode together. Gave me a ride when I didn't have my truck.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, real
Nice
real
to
good.
All right, nice
Good.
to meet you.
Hey, we got internet issues out here where we're at, so when you came in, we were still trying to get back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we were doing is we were reading. So on Friday nights, we were reading Genesis to Revelations, and I know that sounds like a mouthful, but we just chopping it up into little pieces, and we read about 3 chapters a week. And we are in the book of Numbers, chapter 10 right now. And as we read it, we talk about it. You know, if y'all want to jump in, they sometimes come up on the mic and add. We add what we got from our experience, and you know, it's all shalom.
You need to put your phone on.
So that's where we was at. I think we were leaving off before we pick up. Who was trying to say something? Who was trying to say something when I was introducing the 2 ox that just came in? I'm sorry. I just wanted to take.
We good.
You sure? Okay. You remember where you left off?
Yes. No. Yes.
So we were talking about the temple. We were talking about the Israelites breaking down in a particular order,
25, Cody.
packing everything up in a particular order.
You said 25?
Yes, ma'am.
Told out. And how that order was perfect for them to set everything up when they got where they were going.
Okay, we're picking up at verse 25. Then the banner of the camp of the children of Dan, which formed the rear guard of all the camps, departed according to their divisions. And over their army was Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pigagul, the son of Akron. And over the army of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Enan. Such was the order of setting out of the children of Israel according to their divisions which they departed. And Moses said to Hobab, the son of Ruel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are setting out from the place of which Yahuwah said, I give it to you. Come with us, and we shall do good to you, for Yahuwah has spoken good concerning Israel. And he replied to him, I am not going, but I am going to my own land and to my relatives. Then he says, please do not leave us, because you know how we are to camp in the wilderness, and you shall be our eyes. So this was a wilderness dwelling tribe of people.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember his father, I remember his wife. No, we didn't read that yet. I'm about to ruin it. I'm about to give some spoilers.
Well, no, look, since you paused for a second,
Okay.
remember that Moses' father-in-law was a Midianite priest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always been intrigued about this because the Midianites are not known to be the one and the same with the Israelites,
Mm-hmm.
but he was looking for somebody very specific for his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And once Moses was revealed to be the one that was for his daughter by pulling that staff out of the dirt that nobody else could, he continued with Moses in his journeys, which means that he knew Yah. He knew the Most High Yah, and he was a priest.
And Abiyah trusted this staff in his care.
In
so
his care.
Yeah,
That's right.
so think about this staff, like there's books you could read where this staff been on the earth since Adam.
Since the days of Adam.
Since the days of Adam. So during the flood,
this was not a staff made of your ordinary wood, like you go out and grab a staff, grab a limb from a tree and carve it. That's not what this was.
Yeah.
This staff was made of a stone. I believe it said it was onyx.
Something like onyx.
Something like
but
onyx.
They believed it was some people believed it was onyx, and some people believed it was sapphire.
Yeah. Yes. So that's debatable. But the main point is, it was not just your average ordinary piece of wood grabbed off of the limb of the tree. This was something that was special.
Now,
and it was something that was different.
Aaron's staff was a very special wood. His staff was the one that grew almonds. So although he held his staff in his hand and it wasn't connected to any tree or anything, every now and again you look at his staff and his staff will grow an almond. So go ahead, Coach Latasha.
I was going to say the staff for Adam, didn't the Melachim come and carve it out of stone for him?
Yep.
And then I know like when you said because I think I read that in Jasher when he went and he pulled the staff out. But I know I was thinking of like when they made the movie King Arthur and when he had to pull the sword out. That's what I was like. That's when I read it. That's why I was like they this.
Yep, same story.
They just stole everything.
Yep, they whitewashed everything, and so we know from the book of Jasher that Abiyah trusted this staff in the care of the Midianite priest.
Right.
So his tribe, his people had that staff for generation and generation ever since the flood, and nobody could pull it out. Nobody could, move it.
And
go ahead.
No, I was just going to add in there that Yahuwah also thought enough of the Midianite priest that he thought it was good when the Midianite priest gave Moses wise counsel. So Moses was the elder of Moses was who he was among the tribe of Israel.
Yeah.
But his father-in-law gave him wise counsel. And Yah said that the counsel that your father-in-law gave you was good.
Yeah.
Go with that. So
let's roll with that.
Yeah. So this Midianite priest, I believe, this is my opinion. I want to clearly say this is my opinion. I believe that this Midianite priest was also a priest of God. That's my belief from what I read.
So he told him basically, you could be our eyes because this is a wilderness dwelling people, and y'all know all the tricks, y'all know all the what to look out for, because you remember they ran into a bunch of adventures in this wilderness. So he says, and it shall be when you go with us, then it shall be that whatever good Yahuwah does to us, the same we shall do to you. So they set out from the mountain of Yahuwah on a journey of 3 days. And the ark of the covenant of Yahuwah went before them for 3 days' journey to seek out a resting place for them. And the cloud of Yahuwah was above them by day when they went out from the camp. And it came to be, whenever the ark set out, that Moses said, Rise up, O Yahuwah, and let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you. And when it rested, he said, Return, O Yahuwah, to the countless thousands of Israel.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's amazing, fam. I was thinking about how the Israelites in the wilderness knew when to move when the cloud moved. And at night they had that towering inferno of fire to provide them light in the wilderness. And we in the, I guess they say summer is around the corner. Now on the Hebrew calendar, we in summer right now. And it feels like we're in summer.
Sure do.
But when I'm out there working and I'm loading these cars onto this trailer, I'm out there and I'm like, man, this heat is killing me. And it's gotten to the point recently where I feel a little cool, if you could call it cool, in 100+ degree weather,
Mhm.
and a little breeze, and I look up and I notice there's 1 or 2 clouds.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's what clouds do.
Yep.
So that cloud, when there's no shade around you, that cloud give you a little bit of shade from the heat of that sun. So imagine now, the Israelites knew when to move because your shade was moving. And this was giving you reprieve from the blazing heat of that sun. And this was like, oh, we're going to stay under the cloud.
Yeah.
It's an easy decision to make
So
when you know that shade is moving.
So the cloud is like it's shelter.
Yes, it's
You
shelter.
know?
Like Psalms 91.
Dang.
Yes, it's shelter.
Dang.
And in the nighttime, the fire is also protection.
Yep.
Because it's going to keep the wild animals and stuff away.
Yep.
And it's going to also give you light.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to Numbers chapter 11. And it says,
I also wanted to say that historically, they were.
I lost you, Koti.
Did we lose everybody? Can y'all hear us?
No, we still here. Can y'all see us?
Oh yeah,
We can.
We see y'all. We lost her.
Oh.
We get it.
There she.
Is she back?
You can hear me now?
Yes, got you. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that they were actually historically in the desert, and you know, in the desert, it's hot in the day, like you say, for the shade, but at night it gets very cool.
Yes.
So I can see also the fire providing them with some heat, you know, also. I mean, they were historically, they say that Mount Sinai, you know, it's somewhere around Saudi Arabia, somewhere around Yemen, you know, in the desert, all around there. So you got to imagine how hot it was. I mean, we complaining about this little 100 degrees, but
I know.
it was desert hot.
I know.
Sis,
Oh.
let me tell you something. We from Chicago and you from Chicago. We complained at 80 degrees
Sure did.
until I moved to the south.
Yes.
And now I'm like 100+. Well, we had 110.
Man, I remember the first time they said that on the news, I panicked. But when we first moved down here, I'm like, wait a minute, wait, y'all stop talking.
We out here cooking.
The end of the world. They said, what did he say? Is this Armageddon? What's happening?
Yeah,
That
we
man
out here
just
cooking. But you got an excellent point. The desert is a dangerous place. Like you say, you can experience freezing temperatures in the desert at nighttime. So that's two very harsh extremes. But to have that towering inferno, yeah, you're right. That's gonna throw some heat. And hallelujah.
Oh yeah.
I pray he do the same for us the next time.
I know that's right.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it said mute. Are you getting feedback? You're getting feedback from somewhere. Everybody got their mics
No,
muted?
mic's muted, I believe. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got you, bro. I'm gonna mute your mic, bro. But if you want to come up, just unmute your mic.
Yeah, we got a
And let
little
us know.
feedback. Yeah. These mics
We still
pick up-
learning how to work it too.
I know these mics pick up everything.
All right. The book of Numbers, chapter 11,
Okay.
says, and it came to be when the people were as complainers,
We
was-
was just talking about that. It's
it
hot out
was
here.
evil to the ears of Yahuwah. So when the people started complaining, the Most High looked at that as displeasing. He's like, after everything I did for you, you complaining? Like, I'm giving you the most. I'm adorning you, and you complaining.
And let me tell you something. If y'all think, you know, a lot of time I see people and we be read, you know, when we get to this part, they'll look and say, how could they do that? You know what I'm saying? Nah, don't think. How could we do that? Because if you think it's easy, and if you think, you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be amongst the complainers, you're not being truthful to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just be real. We still do it today.
Yep.
Like it's still somewhat difficult for us to identify what y'all doing, whether it's a blessing to us or whether it's a reprimand or like if he's rebuking us for something, chastising us. As a father chastises his son, so does the Most High chastise his people.
Dang.
Proverbs, right?
Dang.
And so sometimes we see stuff going wrong in our individual lives and we say that ain't nothing but the devil. No,
Yeah.
not necessarily.
Not all the time.
Sometimes it's Yah.
So yeah.
And sometimes we get to complaining and saying, oh, I wish this, oh, I can't wait. My mother used to get on me about that. I can't wait. So you either gonna wait or you die.
Oh, right.
Those are your options.
Right. You can wait.
So if Yah ain't moving at your speed, and you talking about what you can't wait for and what you wish for and how you just can't, I don't think Yah got this for me. To quote somebody I know. Well, he do, because this is where you at. And this is the position you in. So we have to learn how, as his people, to take a step back sometimes and really assess what's going on and listen to his voice. When I say listen to his voice, y'all, scripture say we have to test the spirit by the spirit and prove all things, right? So what's going on in our individual lives? Is it a reaction to something we were doing that was good? Or is it a reaction to something we were doing that was not good? Is Yah trying to tell us something, like that song said in the church when we was back in the Christian church?
Yeah, Color Purple, y'all know the one.
We have to ask ourselves that. We cannot automatically put everything on the devil. And even if we do put it on Hashatan, we have to remember that Hashatan cannot do anything. The adversary, Satan, he can't do anything to any of us without permission from the Heavenly Father.
I know everybody want to compare themselves to Job.
But even Job was only dealt with according to what Yah allowed. Every time the things that were happening to Job were incrementally increased, the adversary went to the Father and asked first. He said, yeah, you can turn up the heat a little bit.
Sure did.
Yeah, you can turn up the heat a little bit. Job can take it. His family may not be able to take it. Job can take it.
Yeah, sure did.
And what happened is we see a picture there of those who couldn't take it being weeded out. Remember, people talk about this story like, Job and his family made it, but you got to read the whole book. His family did not make it. His family was wicked.
Not one of
Job's whole family was replaced with a righteous family.
Sure was.
And Job was reprimanded as well.
Yeah, Job wasn't, Abiyah dealt with Job too. You know what I'm saying? Abiyah wasn't pleased with Job. There was something, Job was perfect. But Abiyah said differently. You know what I'm saying? Job was saying he was perfect.
Job needed some humility.
Yeah, Job got to talk about all what he do. I feed the poor. You know what I'm saying? Who came to me without clothes on that I ain't get them clothes. You know what I'm saying? Job was going on and on and on about his accomplishments. So finally, Abiyah had to open the mouth for the little boy to say. So let me
say, what was the little boy name?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I was gonna say, what was the little boy name?
Now here's the thing, y'all
we recommended him and his soup friend.
Y'all say little boy, but it just say he was a youth.
A youth, right?
So I mean, we don't know how old Job and them were. I would presume he was probably in his 20s? In his early 20s,
maybe 30s,
but that would be considered a youth to them.
Yeah.
But you're talking about people who've been walking it out.
Yeah.
But you don't hear that part in church.
Nah, they don't say
you don't hear. All you hear was Job was perfect, and
And Abiyah tested him. No, Abiyah dealt with Job because Job was vain. Job had a little, Abiyah told him, like, were you there when I hung the heavens? Do you know what the cornerstone of the earth is? Yeah. If you know, let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know the origins of the water?
Of the water,
and wind, and fire and all that. But here's the thing, and here's like what I take from that is, even though it did call Job perfect, just like it called Abraham perfect, and just like it called Noah perfect.
And David.
Yah still is more perfect than all of us, and can tune you and fine tune you and refine you even more.
So the Bruce was complaining in the wilderness, but you read in Joshua that Abiyah was allowing certain things to happen to them to test them.
That's right.
And teach them that we don't live. He had to break. They was coming out of Egypt, and they had the ways of Egypt all throughout them, and he had to break them of the ways of Egypt. Right. So in Egypt was a land of splurging and waste, kind of like America. Consumption and indulgence, you know what I'm saying?
And overindulgence. Gluttony and everything.
He had them out in the wilderness trying to break them, you know what I'm saying? Trying to purge them of the ways of Egypt and get them prepared.
Like a fast.
Like a fast came.
Like a fast.
And they was complaining, we ain't got no water. And I'm tired of that. We ain't got no hot sauce for the chicken. This chicken without hot sauce. And we ain't got no dipping sauce for the bread. And ooh, it's hot out here. And I can't get a bath. I can't get a bath. And oh my God, how long we gonna go without water? How many days has it been?
Quail, fish.
You know what I'm saying?
All of the delicacies of America.
Everything.
Egypt.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't do it.
Even when they built the golden calf, and a lot of people don't recognize it, but at the bottom of the calf, they put all the different gods of Egypt around it. And it was just the top, like it was the calf on the top, but it was all the gods all the way around it. And I'm like, in my head, like you said, you never know because we haven't been in that predicament yet. But in my head, I'm just like, why would y'all do something like that? Like, why? And I'm in my head, I'm thinking about Aaron too. Like, how long did it take you to sit there and carve out all those guys around that bottom of that calf? And then you gonna try to blame it on everybody else.
You knew you was wrong.
Think of Coty Tarisha. I see you, baby. We're gonna get right to you. But let me. I like to put ancient things in modern day situations. And so they put all the gods of Egypt around their calf. But let me show you how easily we can do that in this day and time, right? And displease Abiyah. So we know we won't be out there. We won't be out there calling on the Muslim God or the whatever God. But if we coming out as a nation of people, some of us believe in this, some of us believe in that. Moses went up to the mountain. Okay, that was the strength. Moses was the warrior. He went up to the mountain, and they all surrounded Aaron. Like, listen here, we going through this because Allah ain't being represented, and we over here we Muslim, and we over here we Buddha. We believe in Buddha, and we over here we believe in this and that. And Aaron just like,
Yeah, he was gone for such an extended period that they say he not coming back.
Yep.
He was leading us. Remember, Scripture says that the Most High made Moses like a god to the people, and his brother Aaron like his prophet, right? So they felt like Moses left and wasn't coming back.
Had abandoned them. Yeah.
And so they reverted. That's all it was. They just reverted back to what they knew, because that's what we do. When we're uncomfortable, we revert back to what gives us comfort. And whether it's Jesus, Lord God, whether it's Allah, whatever,
Buddha,
that's what happened.
That's what happened, and it easily done.
And the calf was just the chief god, like Akoti Lachasa pointed out. They had 360 plus gods. The calf, the golden calf, was just the chief deity, and all the rest of them they had around it. But yeah, let's pick it up. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was you know what it remind me of when Abraham went into his father's I don't want to call it a prayer house, but his God's house, and he had all the guys in there. That's what it reminds me of. And then he went in there and he was talking to the guys. And he's like, I didn't break them. The big guy did that. I didn't do it. And he's like, he can't do it. He clay and potter. That's what it reminds. Like that wilderness thing. It's happened with Abraham and his father. Like it was the same thing, like the same guys, and they just transferred right over to them. And then Abraham was like, I didn't do it. That wasn't me that did it. It was the big guy. They was fighting over the food.
Imagine the chaos.
Over the sacrifice. It was food, but it was a sacrifice.
We're told that this gonna happen again, right? Imagine the chaos. Imagine the chaos when this happened again. When you got so many brews who believe certain things. You know what I'm saying? Now the brews, okay. Because of situations, right? Because of the signs of the time and the things that's been going on, if somebody looked like they could lead us through trials and tribulations, right? Fire and brimstones, the world gonna be just falling down around you. If somebody said they could lead you out of that and lead you away from that, you're gonna follow, right? That person saying, it's because of Yahuwah that this is happening. Follow me and I can get you through this. That person get you out and get you on the other side. So now you at a moment of quiet and stillness because we told scripture tell us that the wilderness gonna happen again. The 40 years gonna happen again. You know what I'm saying? Now you in quiet and it's just you and space and desert. You know what I'm saying? Now you're gonna be tested. This is when the test begins, just like then.
Face to face. Yep.
Scripture said he gonna deal with us face to face in the wilderness. You know, did that Coach put her hands down?
I'm just waiting on you. I was gonna call it to
okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Coach.
Coach Tarisha, come on up to the mic. Didn't forget.
I was reading the Bible because I've been reading the Bible through this. I had started reading the Bible from beginning to end, like last year.
Okay.
And I used to always think, why would they keep on going back? I never could understand it. And one day while I was reading it, it was like I heard it was something quiet in me said, "You do the same thing all the time. You will sit there and complain. Things could be going great for you, and you'll complain about the one thing that's not going good."
Yeah,
like
that's
pandemic. This whole pandemic. I'm grateful. Nobody has got COVID in my family. Nobody.
Yeah.
My household has stayed, but the whole time I'm like, oh, I didn't have a job. And I'm like, but nobody died either. Why are you complaining? You had food the whole time. No, you never went a day without food. You never had a problem like, oh, how we're going to eat today. And you don't realize until you actually pay attention. You complain about stuff like, okay, I'm tired of eating the quail. I'm tired of eating why we don't have drinkable water. You complain about stuff when the whole time the Father has been taking care of you, but you're like, I don't have the meat that I was eating before. But you was eating though. And it's like once you get placed on your heart, stop complaining because you're doing the same thing they were doing. You're not any different from what they were doing. You're doing the exact same thing. It really do. It checks you. It checks you so quickly. I tell my mother this all the time. Everybody say they a disciple, but most of us are Pharisees, and we don't realize it.
That's one way to put
act
it.
like Pharisees. We always.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in the Church of God in Christ.
Okay.
And when you get out of that, you realize how much a Pharisee mindset people have. That it's scary because you're like, everybody feels like I'm a disciple, and it's
Unmute yourself again, sis. I apologize. I was our internet.
Is that Kiki girl?
Oh, please. You still there, sis? I apologize. That was our internet.
yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and finish up. I
apologize. Yeah, we got kicked off line.
No, you're fine. I was just saying that I feel like we complain a lot and we act like we don't understand the Hebrews back then, and it's kind of like we still the same ones. We're just in a newer time. We the same ones.
100% right. That's a beautiful testimony.
That's a very, very good way to put it.
Shalom,
Kiki
Coachy,
girl.
Kiki.
Oh my goodness, it's Kiki girl.
Been a minute. Good to have you.
I know.
Yeah,
but
great point, sis. And I think that we do well to really ingrain that in ourselves in preparation for second Exodus. We read all of the prophecies about us going into the wilderness a second time, and it's like we can read all of what they're doing, and like Rib said, we could point to it and say, I don't see how they did that. I can't believe they was doing this. I can't believe. But like you said as well, Coty, we do the same thing even now. And it's simple. It's a simple concept, although it's hard to conquer. It's a simple concept that the Most High is trying to get us to understand. And that simple concept is lean on me, depend on me, follow me. I will provide you with your daily bread. Look at the birds of the fields. Even Shlomo is not clothed like them, right? So, and I'm paraphrasing that scripture that talks about that. And it says, after that, seek ye first the kingdom of Yah, and everything else will be added to you. So that's the thing.
Yeah, all these books and stuff we reading is preparing us. This is all practice. And so we say this to say, you know, when you find yourself, or if you find yourself in that situation, you got to know that Abba Yah is listening to your heart. You know what I'm saying? And so if you marching out and you marching around in the world, burning on the left and your right, remember, Abba Yah listening to your heart. And there's nothing that the Father putting you through that he don't deem necessary.
There's a scripture in Proverbs that says, for everything there is a season. There's a season for gathering and a season for sowing. And I don't want to butcher that. But here's the thing, right? When you are in a season where you have abundance, that's the season where you have abundance.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it and expect that there is also a season where you will have little.
Yep.
And be okay with that as well.
Yep. I'll say
you know
the
what I'm
best.
saying? Be okay with that as well. There's been times when we didn't know where the next meal was coming from, but there was always a next meal.
Yeah.
Nobody starved. Nobody died. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that. So
that was a hard one for me.
We got to hear his voice, and we got to follow him. And we got to understand that the main priority for us is our daily bread. Yeah. And that daily bread is not the bread that we physically eat, but it's the bread that we are digesting in these scriptures, because that's what we will live on. That's the main thing. He'll provide everything else. So, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways we can say that, and there's a lot of different testimonies that we can give and y'all can give, but that's the thing. Seek ye first the kingdom, and everything else will be added to you. Numbers chapter 11 says, and it came to be, when the people were as complainers, and it was evil in the ears of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah heard it, and his displeasure burned, and the fire of Yahuwah burned among them, and consumed those in the outskirts of the camp. Boom.
Wow.
Just like that. I bet that got their attention.
Oh, yeah.
Because where was it coming next? It was coming toward the innermost part of the camp. And the people cried out to Moses or Moshe, and Moshe prayed to Yahuwah, and the fire died down. Moses being the intercessor between the people and Yah. And he called the name of the place Taberah, or Taberah, because the fire of Yahuwah had burned among them. And the mixed multitude who were in their midst lusted greatly. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, who has given us meat to eat? Pause. This is important, fam. Remember, we came out of Israel, not just Israelites, but also those who saw what was happening to Egypt and said, ooh,
we're going there.
The bigger God, remember Egypt had a lot of gods. The bigger God must be with them, so we going with them. But in their heart, they still had not separated from the things they were worshiping in Egypt. So now this said that the mixed multitude kicked up the complaining and the clamoring this time, and when sit down, when the mixed multitude kicked up the complaining, yeah, go ahead. Yes, you.
Yeah,
that was you. I apologize, fam. And so when those who were not just Israelites, but the Egyptians started complaining, then the Israelites that were around them was like, what we complaining about? Yeah, you might got a point.
Yeah.
I think I do miss that, and I think I do miss this, and I think, and then they started complaining with them. It's called mob mentality or peer pressure, right? And so they started complaining too.
Yeah.
Here's the reason why, and this is touchy. Here's the reason why y'all say, marry among your tribe. And if you do marry outside of your tribe, make sure that those that you marry outside of your tribe is converting to what you believe and you not converting to what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very hard for us that believe this to then bring in somebody who was steeped in something else and them not, once you have children, want to raise the children according to what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's a difficult thing. It's gonna cause arguments. It's gonna cause
Division.
fights and divisions and all of that within your household. If you haven't already, by the time y'all start having children, agreed that this is how we raising our children. And most people in this day and time, fam, especially among our community, we don't have those conversations first before entering into the marriage and then producing children. We don't have the hard conversations. And therefore, when the children are born, then we, after the fact, are talking about, well, I don't want my child eating pork. Well, I eat pork, so what you gonna do?
What we gonna do?
I don't want my child eating shrimp. Well, I eat shrimp, so what you gonna do? I don't want you taking my child to church. Well, Big Mom and them is taking our baby to church. What you gonna do? And now you got those arguments because you didn't have those conversations first. All you did was look at how fine she was. All you did was look at how thick he was and say, man,
super thick.
That brother there, fine. That's just oh my goodness. Bam, bam, bam.
Super thick.
Joe
What about the rest? I figure the rest out.
thick.
Yeah.
What'd you say, sis?
I said Joe thick.
Joe thick.
Joe thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we got to learn not to leap every time we look, because that's gonna cause some problems later on. Just like we got this mixed multitude that came out of Egypt with Israel that's saying they want to sojourn with their mouth, but their heart ain't quite there.
They was just trying to escape the fire. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Everything burning down around me. I look back, everybody got
Why wouldn't they leave?
blisters, and ain't nobody sick with y'all. I'm with y'all.
Yeah. It was smart to leave.
It was.
But now if you're gonna stay with us, I need you to be like us as well.
They got to talk about steak.
As opposed to trying to take us back to the worship that we're trying to get away from. Right? So that's what's going on here. So it says, who has given us meat to eat? Verse 5. We remember the fish which we ate without cost in Egypt or Mitzrayim. We remember the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic.
And chicken wings and the steak with garlic butter sauce.
But now our being is dried up.
Oh,
is it really
no,
dried up, or are you over exaggerating?
Oh my goodness.
But now our being is dried up. There is nothing to look at but this manna. I'm tired of this manna. Now the manna was like coriander seed, and its appearance like the appearance of bdellium.
Whatever that is.
The people went about and gathered it, ground it on millstone, or beat it in mortar, and cooked it in a pot, and made cakes of it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. So like a pastry.
Pancake.
Or a pancake. Or
Coriander
a biscuit. You bake it how you want to bake it.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. It was like something that you use like flour and then you baked. And that was their food. That's what they had. And it came from the heavens. And this was what was originally called angel food. Because this was the food that they said was like of the angels. Right? Angel food cake before angel food cake. Excuse me 1 second. No. It's bedtime. I'm not going to say it again. Thank you, sir. You must be sleepy. Okay. Verse 9. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna fell on it. And Moses, or Moshe, heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent. Each man at the door of his tent. And the displeasure of Yahuwah burned exceedingly. And in the eyes of Moses, it was evil. So Moshe said to Yahuwah, why have you done evil to your servant? And why have I not found favor in your eyes to put the burden of all these people on me? So Moses trying to...
Yeah, Moses like, I don't want to deal with this no more, Father. And I can imagine. I can imagine.
Was it I who conceived all these people? These not my children.
I am not their daddy.
Was it I who brought them forth, that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom, as the foster father carries a nursing child to the land which you swore to their fathers? Now Moses complained.
Yeah.
Where am I to get meat to give all these people? For they weep before me, saying, give us meat to eat. I am unable to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you are doing this to me, kill me. Please kill me. If I have found favor in your eyes, put me out of my misery.
I hate to laugh at that because that's not funny. That brother's suffering. That brother is asking for death.
And let me not see my evil. Then Yahuwah said to Moses, or Moshe, gather to me 70 men. This is important going forward, y'all. Of the elders of Israel. So 70 of the elders, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. And I shall come down and speak with you there, and shall take of the spirit that is on you. We're talking about the Ruach. We're talking about what in church was known as the Holy Ghost, but accurately is known as the set apart spirit.
They had Moses shining, so the people he had to walk with a sack over his head.
Yes, in the Hebrew called the Ruach HaKodesh. So he says, I'm going to take a portion of the spirit that is on you and put it on them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you do not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, set yourselves apart for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, because you have wept in the hearing of Yahuwah, saying, who is giving us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt, or in Mizraim. And Yahuwah shall give you meat, and you shall eat. You are going to eat meat, not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but for a new month of days. So for a whole month. Until it comes out of your nose and becomes an abomination to you, because you have rejected Yahuwah who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why did we come out of Egypt? So he say, since you complaining that what I gave you wasn't enough, and you said, I need that, I'm going to give you so much that you're going to be sick of it. So y'all know, like, y'all ever got drunk, and then the day after you got drunk, say, I don't never want to drink again. Yeah, that's the feeling he gonna give them. That's the feeling he gonna give them. You're not gonna want it ever again. Go ahead, sis.
No, when I was reading, I was thinking about I was thinking about when I was a kid growing up, and then like if one person did something, all of us get in trouble. I'm sitting here thinking about like how when they was in the wilderness, I know all of them didn't complain, but everybody got in trouble. And I'm sitting thinking to myself like that. When I was a kid, I'm like, that's no fear. Like, why am I getting in trouble for something he did? But you gotta eat that meat. I'm sure Abiyah was merciful. Tell him like, shut up.
I'm sure Abiyah was merciful. You know what I'm saying? We are all like, you know, we're all appointed our watcher and our Malakim. And I'm sure, you know, for some of us, just think if you had a peaceful spirit in the beginning, and you know what I'm saying, you just was glad to be walking with Abiyah, and that was your food, your bread, you already was at a better position, because you like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what they talking about, but I'm Gucci. I'm good. I'm at peace.
But guess what? That person also understand the punishment. Yeah. And accept the punishment.
Yeah.
So we talking about somebody with a with a righteous spirit, right? I punish my children together. Sometimes when something is going on in the household, because there's so many of them, right? It's 8 of them all together. So sometimes I clearly tell them, I don't care who it was. Y'all all gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna figure it out. When I come in and I say who did this or who did that, and all of y'all is pointing fingers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
No, I'm not gonna try to figure it out. Y'all gonna suffer together, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna grow you together, right? You're gonna then deal with each other amongst yourselves outside of our hearing. It's gonna not be among the parents. It's gonna be the children saying, you know, you did this, you know, and you're going to make each other be accountable, right? It's just like team sports. When the coach say the whole team got to do something together, you're growing them together as a unit. And I believe that's also what's going on here. You're growing them together as a nation. Either you're going to fly or you're going to sink together. Either sink or swim or fly or fall together as a nation.
Except they didn't go into Israel as a nation. They never reached the promised land as a nation.
As a nation.
Most of them
because they didn't get it.
Yep. But the two, I mean, not even Moses. Moses didn't even make it because y'all remember his complaints. Right. You know what I'm saying? But the 2 that made it was the 2 who walked that journey out of all them people. Never complained. Yep. The 2, they never complained.
The ones who said, if y'all say it can be done, it can be done. I don't care what it look like.
They sent them. These 2. Their nature was so different from everybody else that Moses sent them into Israel, where the giants was. Right. Before it was called Israel, but sent them amongst giants. They came back to him like, man, you know what I'm saying? Yep. The grapes as big as our head. The people that was with them was complaining, but they still weren't complaining. They still was like, hey, if I say the battle is ours, let's go get it.
Right.
I was like, because Caleb said, like, we can beat them. And they was like, no, did you see them? And Caleb was like, we can beat them.
We can beat them.
Because both him and Joshua, Caleb was like, we can beat them. Let's go.
I said we can, it's ours.
Yep. Yep. The sons of Anak.
I know.
Yep. Okay, picking up in 20. But for a whole month of days, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes an abomination to you, because you have rejected Yahuwah who is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why did we come up out of Egypt? And Moses said, the people in whose midst I am are 600,000 men on foot. And you have said, I give them meat to eat for a new month or for a whole month of days. Could flocks and herds be slain for them to be sufficient for them? Or could all the fish of the sea be gathered for them to be sufficient for them? And Yahuwah said to Moses or Moshe, is the arm of Yahuwah too short? Now see whether my word meets you or not. So now you asking.
Yeah.
And you are coming up short in your belief. And Moses or Moshe went out and spoke to the people the word of Yahuwah. And he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people and placed them around the tent. And Yahuwah came down in the cloud. I remember it said to set themselves apart also, fam. So remember all that we went through about the details of what it means to set yourself apart, to cleanse and not to be around anything unclean or to sleep with your wife for that period because you had to be clean for that period, right? So it says, and Yahuwah came down in the cloud, because he wouldn't have if they was unclean, or they would have died, and spoke to him, and said, and took of the spirit that was upon him, and placed the same upon the 70 elders. And it came to be, when the spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied, and did not continue. However, 2 men had remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, the name of the other was Medad. And the spirit rested on them, meaning it stayed upon them, at least for a period. Now, they were among those listed, but did not go out of the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and informed Moshe and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Yahusha, the son of Nun, Moses' assistant, from his youth, important, answered and said, Moshe, my master, forbid them. And Moses said to him, are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all the people of Yahuwah were prophets, and that Yahuwah will put his spirit upon them. Now listen, scripture say there's going to come a time when that does happen.
Yeah.
But most like, no, whoa.
Nah, yeah.
Don't be jealous for me, man. Look, I'm glad y'all got some old people taking a little bit of this off of my shoulders, because it's a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
This is a heavy burden to carry.
Moses was tired. He was old too.
He was getting old. I can't. And Moses, or Moshe, returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel, and a wind, a breath, a ruach, a spirit, went forth from Yahuwah. So if you was to look that word wind up in the Hebrew, I can almost guarantee it's going to say ruach, a spirit. Went forth from Yahuwah, and it brought quail from the sea and let them fall beside the camp about a day's journey. On this side and about a day's journey on the other side. And all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people were, what is that? Stop them, please. And the people were up all that day and all that night and all the next day and gathered the quail. And he who had least gathered 10 omers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. The meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, and the wrath of Yahuwah burned against the people. And Yahuwah struck the people with an exceedingly great plague. Then he called the name of that place Kibroth Hata'awah, because they were buried. I'm sorry, I apologize. Because there they buried the people who had lusted. And from Kibroth Hata'awah, the people set out for Hatzeroth and were at Hatzeroth. So listen, fam, y'all ever seen, like in a movie or anything like that, somebody eating so nastily and so gluttonously that they got food all over their face, food all in their mouth while they talking and just, that's how they was eating that quail. Did I capture it? That's how they was eating that quail. And I could just imagine, because it had to be some people there, and I can't stand to see people eat like that now. Ooh. It had to be some people there, the way I think I'd have been there, looking like,
yeah, give me some of that manna. I don't want
listen, I ain't even hungry no more. You can have mine.
Yeah.
That's gluttony,
grease
y'all.
running all down your elbows and wrists. Get your life together. You know, you have people setting up shop. You know, fish, quail frying stations.
It say that the quail was still in their teeth.
And you know, y'all was like, I wish, touch the quail. Everybody touch the quail dies. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what it says. It says that they buried a lot of people there for their gluttony. They buried a lot of people there who could not control their gluttony.
We've learned another lesson of what not to do when it's go time. We should be keeping a log, a book, while we read through this of what worked and what didn't work, so that you know, when you out there, you're like, let me refer to what you say going on. Let me refer to my log.
Yeah.
You say
at this point, y'all, you trying to have it on your inward parts.
Chicken wings just fell down from the sky.
When we read scripture to say, I will place my law on their inward parts, how do we think that happens? That don't happen because it's not magic. It's you've studied it, you've internalized it, you've digested, and you've grown to love it. You've grown to love it, and now it's become a part of you. To the point where when you reach these situations, or when these situations are presented to you, you automatically think back to, okay, how did my forefathers deal with this righteously? And how did my forefathers deal with this in the unrighteous state? And which path am I taking here?
Yep. So when you out there, man, and you hear somebody come run to you telling some, I heard our prayer. They chicken wings falling from the sky. Refer to your log. Refer to your log. Look through your log and see what happened last time. And just declare, you know what? I'm not gonna have any chicken wings today. I mean, y'all go ahead, y'all enjoy yourself, but I won't be having any chicken wings.
Everything in moderation, fam. Like, I'm sure at some times they came across a few quail here and a few fish there, and it wasn't. It probably just wasn't enough for them, and they was just like, that ain't no enough. I need more.
Let me tell you something. I'm a chill. I'm gonna sit back. You know, I'm hungry too, but I'm gonna let y'all eat your chicken wings, see what happens to y'all first. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm gonna determine whether or not the chicken wings are safe.
It's important for us to know how to fast, family.
Yes,
it's important for us to know how to fast.
This is true.
It's important for us to know how to go without.
Yep.
All things, not just food.
Yep.
All things, man.
Anything that make your heart beat at a certain rate, and it ain't Yahuwah.
Yes.
You know, it's like in that day, that probably ain't smart. Like if you're like, oh, I'm getting worked up about that. You know what? Let me go pray on it because I shouldn't be worked up.
Step number one.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm heated. I got my neck sweating and stuff. Now something. Maybe go pray.
Something made your heart go pitter patter.
Yeah, you know, you like, you know what I'm saying? It probably in that day and time. That's probably not that's called lust.
Oh, so it's gonna be a lot of us out there looking for a whole lot of stuff. Where the wine at?
I'm telling you.
Where the weed at?
Let me tell you something. If my husband make my heart go pitter patter in that day and time, I'm probably gonna like, you know what, bro?
We gotta be okay with going without all things, at least for a certain period of time.
Ain't the time for
sis
all
over
that.
there cracking up. I see you, sis.
Now ain't the time for all
she
that.
over there cracking up. But it's real.
I'm
It's real.
telling you.
We have to know how to abstain.
You just say it's a time and place for everything.
It's a time and it's a season for everything.
Yes.
And if something got such a hold on us that we absolutely cannot,
you got to.
And listen, I'm guilty. Let me be the first to raise. I'm guilty of certain things. Sometimes having a control on me and me saying I gotta have it.
Somebody hating on my glamping. Ain't that what you thought about? Let me tell you something.
We all got to know how to go without some things. Yes, we all that applies to all of us.
I choose to put a little rug down on my tent floor. That make me the bad guy. Okay, so we're picking up in Numbers chapter 12. Now Miriam and Aharon spoke against Moses because of the Cushite woman whom he had taken, for he had taken a Cushite woman. And they said, has Yahuwah spoken only through Moses? Has he not also spoken through us? And Yahuwah heard it. And the man Moses was very humble, more than all the men who were on the face of the earth. This man was the humblest man on earth. And suddenly Yahuwah said to Moses and Aharon and Miriam, you three come out to the tent of appointment. So that the three came out. And Yahuwah came.
I'm sorry, 8 and 8.
Huh?
I'm sorry, 8 and 8.
Okay. And Yahuwah came down in the column of the cloud and stood at the door of the tent. And he called Aharon and Miriam, and they both went forward. And he said, hear now my words. If your prophet is of Yahuwah, I make myself known to him in a vision, and I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is trustworthy in all my house. I speak with him mouth to mouth and plainly and not in riddles. And he sees the form of Yahuwah. So why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
It's interesting too because I was reading last week in Josephus about the dynamic between David and King Saul. And King Saul had become overcome by a wicked spirit. When Yah's spirit was removed from Saul because of his actions and dwelt with David or David. And everybody was telling David, kill that dude. Kill that dude. Yeah. And David was like, I could. Yah put him right in front of me. His neck is right there. My sword is right here.
Then he cut like a piece of his hair off.
He cut a corner of his clothes, his garment off. Yeah. That time, and another time, he took some of his belongings because he had soldiers all around him, and then went back out and called to him from a mountain. It was like the second time I saved your life. Yeah. Like I could have took your life, but David was clear. He said, I feel like this individual was anointed by Yah. And even though he had shortcomings and failings like Moses, I'm not saying that Saul and Moses was on the same playing field at all. But Moses did have shortcomings. Saul had bigger shortcomings. But now we still acknowledge that Saul was anointed by the Most High. So when Saul dies, it's gonna be because the Most High takes Saul, not because I reached in and did my own thing. Far be it from me to come against anybody that Yah has anointed. And so that's what the Most High is saying here is like, why was you not afraid to speak against who I deal with him face to face. Everybody else, they dreaming dreams, and yeah, I think this is what Yah was saying. This is what he gave me. Can you help me interpret it? And let's pray on this and see what he was saying. I deal with him face to face. I brought him up in the mountains and spoke to him mouth to mouth. And you didn't think that you probably shouldn't speak ill against him? Like you didn't even pray to me and ask, should I speak against him? You just fixed your mouth, as we say, you fixed your mouth to come out there and be perverse.
But we know how the devil is, you know what I'm saying? Just like when Messiah looked at Kepha and said, "Get behind me, Satan."
Yeah.
He wasn't speaking to Kepha, he was speaking to that spirit that had jumped on Kepha.
Yeah.
And so that spirit of jealousy jumped in Miriam's heart. She
don't he deal with us too?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I did. Miriam was a prophetess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
before Moses came into who he was.
Miriam was
and on her own.
Yep. Abiyah gave her wisdom from a child. It was her that told the mother what to do, how to keep Moses alive. You know what I'm saying?
She's like, now you done got bigger than me. Look at you bigger than me.
I know. Look at Look at you bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? You done got big headed, but he speaks to us too. Too big for your
britches, huh?
What about coming to me for counsel? You know what I'm saying? Am I not a prophetess?
This was the same spirit that was on Joseph's brothers. If y'all checked out the video we did on the prodigal son.
Yep.
This is the same spirit that was on Joseph's brothers when Joseph had a dream that the stars and the moon and the sun bowed to him. Yeah. They was like, "Are you serious, little brother? Like for real? You figure us and mom and pop gonna bow to you, huh?"
Even Jacob was like, "Son, get your life together."
Yeah. But what happened?
He just telling the truth. He just telling what Abiyah gave him.
This is what I dreamt. But even Joseph wasn't spoken to face.
No.
Like Moses.
No.
So that's what he's saying. Okay. And I'm sorry, Okoti Antoinette, were you trying to say something? Before I pick up in 9? Okay, go ahead. And the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against them, and he left. After coming down in the cloud of smoke at the tent of appointment, that was the routine. And the cloud turned away from above the tent, and look, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. So what is leprosy?
As white as snow. So white
a
skin.
Leopard.
White skin.
Yes.
So let me ask you something. If Miriam was white to begin with, how could this be?
How did she turn white?
How did she turn white? You know what I'm saying? Don't make sense.
Don't make sense. So her leprosy turned her skin white. And Aharon turned to Miriam and said, "Look, a leper."
Look how quick he turned. Ugly.
Get your tail over there. Get your tail over there.
He was right there with her.
I don't know what you done did, but
you in trouble.
Get thee behind me.
Get out over there. I told her about that.
I told her don't be opening her mouth all that quick. And Aharon said to Moshe, "Oh, my master, please do not hold against us the sin in which we have done foolishly and in which we have sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead when coming out of its mother's womb, with our flesh half consumed." And Moshe cried out to Yahuwah, saying, "O power, please heal her, please." So now Moses intercessing on her behalf, even though she spoke against Moses.
That's his big sister.
And Yahuwah said to Moshe, If her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Meaning she'd have been unclean. Would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days. And after that, let her be readmitted. So she's going to have to serve this punishment, is what he's saying. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Now she's sorry. I get it. But she's sorry now. She wasn't sorry before. So let her go and take this punishment. And then when she's cleansed, she'll be able to be readmitted. So look, this is something that we need to understand about the dynamic of Israel and the Heavenly Father, our power, the Ruach. To be separated from Yah is the equivalent of death, right? So the fact that she had to be removed from the camp for 7 days was like death. To be without the Ruach, or to be without outside of the camp where the Most High came and dwelled from time to time, was the equivalent of death. To be separate from the Father is like death. I'm saying that different ways, multiple times, hoping to sink in. Okay. And so that's what she had to endure for 7 days. It was like being dead. Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be readmitted. 15. All right, family. Last couple of verses. I apologize. We're going to get this. Okay, 15. And Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not set out until Miriam was readmitted. So they didn't leave her behind. 16. And afterward, the people departed from Hatzeroth, and they camped in the wilderness of Paran. So that's what we're closing out today. We're going to pick up next week. That was 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, and 15. Anybody have anything they want to comment on or add or question before our before our internet give up the spirit again?
It's fighting. It's show fighting.
We fighting for it, fam.
Cut to the Tasha hands up.
Come on up, sis.
Right. No, I just wanted to say, if Aaron was with us in today's time, I wouldn't want to hang with him, because every time somebody in trouble and he was right there in trouble with him, he's going to express us, oh no, not me. I don't think I like that about Aaron.
But we see Aaron's character.
He'll start.
Shalom, Kiki.
I don't like that. Like, Aaron, you were standing right here talking about him too.
See you next week, baby. We are meeting tomorrow too.
Tomorrow 2:00 we're gonna do Melchizedek.
Yeah, he finally gonna do the Melchizedek study that he been promising. Yeah. So tomorrow,
are you gonna send it to us on Facebook?
I can do that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, he finally gonna do it. So he finally gonna do it. So we're gonna go live. Go do it tomorrow at 2.
And I want to say thank you to Akoti Latasha as well.
Did I shame you? Did I shame you?
Yeah, y'all got it. That's what needed to happen.
Nah, I ain't got no shame, fam.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't got no shame.
Tina.
I ain't got no shame. I probably should have some shame.
Yes, thank you, Akoti Latasha, because you've been holding it down for us as far as these announcements and everything, and keeping everybody abreast.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Okay, Toda Akoti. Yeah, we desperate. We try anything, because this internet out here is crazy. Yeah.
And so look, real quick, this Melchizedek study is actually very key to the priesthood thing that y'all want to talk about, because it's important to understand some very foundational elements about Melchizedek, however you choose to pronounce that. We'll go over that tomorrow. But it's
doing good.
It's going to be a cornerstone of their priesthood thing. And here's the thing, fam, like y'all asking me to do this priesthood thing, and in all honesty, I'm still digging into it. Like when I tell y'all I'm reading in Josephus, there's a gap between Malachi and Matthew that I'm looking to Josephus to fill. And I tried to jump to that in the book of Josephus, but I couldn't do it because it's just too good. The reading is too good. Mm-hmm. And so the way my life is set up, it just take a minute, fam. So I will do it, but y'all just gonna have to bear with me. I'll do it as I can do it. Yeah. And like I said, I really ain't got no shame, so it'll get done when it get done. I'm sorry. I'll be telling her to tell y'all that about her writing. It's gonna get done when it get done, fam. You know what? It's like, and I'm not trying to put myself on the level, but I love the way he did it. Enoch came to the people when he had something to give to the people.
Shabbat shalom, Koti Celeste. Shabbat shalom, sis.
And when he didn't, he didn't. And I think that in that he was able to keep his sanity, and he was also able to keep people from putting him on a pedestal. And he kept it about Yah, and he kept it about the Ruach, the word.
Enoch could disappear on a minute on you, boy. You were like, anybody see Enoch? I ain't seen Enoch in 3 months. It's been 3 years. We ain't seen. Is he still alive? I don't know. And then he just, I be out like, look, I need y'all to tell us here. Just show up. I be out say, y'all better stop doing what y'all doing with the dinosaurs.
Right.
You're getting out of hand. This has got to stop.
Okay.
I say, y'all over there splicing. You done mixed a horse and a man together. He ain't pleased with that. You got a whole town of horsemen.
Deal with you.
He gonna get you. They was doing all kind of stuff back in that day. That's what I'm telling you, man. Before the flood, oh goodness. And then shortly after the flood, you read about some of this stuff you read about in the scriptures, and you say this scripture can't possibly mean that. That's exactly what it means. It was some amazing things happening before this new secular world kicked in.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. It's a task, man. It is I was talking to a brother last week. He was talking about he felt like y'all was giving him something, and he's like, just keep it to you. I'm telling you what I think y'all giving me. I'm gonna try to pull this together, and once I do, I'm gonna present it, and y'all beat it up. Y'all beat it up and see if it's something or not. And I'm like, bro, go because I know what that's like. Mm-hmm. When you feel like, you're trying to pull from all these different places, and you feel like your mind is just being, and I know she dealt with it too in her writing. Mm-hmm. When you feel like your mind is overwhelmed with all this information, and you have to organize it in a fashion that is presentable and digestible, comprehensible by someone else. Yeah. It's like I see it in its chaos. How can I organize it so that someone else can comprehend what I think I see?
I think I got an easier job than you. See, I could just put mine in a parable. That's what I do with the stories. That's the parable's so easy to teach with. You know what I'm saying? Messiah taught in parables. He just told a story. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who, he told a story. That's easier for me than what you have to do with, present a theory and then you come with scripture and verse.
See if it's proven.
To prove it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, that's
line upon line, precept upon precept.
That's a lot.
So like I said, that priesthood one is a big topic, fam. But I don't mind sharing it. It's not that I mind it at all. It's just that it's something that is still in the works. So I can share what I have so far. But I'm still verifying, in all honesty. I think I see something. I'm pretty sure I see what I see, but I'm still verifying.
It's all. I love those kind of comments that stir up, because it was a teachable moment. So there was people. You know how many people went to their scriptures after she said that? Like, well, let me read my Bible then, huh?
They did. So people was hitting me in my inbox. So it was like, where was this at?
Yeah,
where was this at?
Yeah, like Jasher. What's Jasher? Is that a biblical book? You know what I'm saying? So I love that. It was a very teachable moment.
Hey, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
That's the goal.
Yep.
That's the goal.
Somebody hit me up and was like, what drama did you find in the book of Job? I said, Job. I said, Job daughters is off the chain.
Full of drama.
Full of drama. I tagged her, but I was like, y'all tried it. Now, I done told y'all before, it's that Bible. We got 66 books, full of drama, drama.
66.
I told them, open up that Apocrypha.
If you say you bought it, you say you bought it.
Yeah.
It's 66 of them. Holler at me when you finish them, so we can start on this. So we can start on the next list. Because that's the first 66 you got to deal with.
I'm telling you, Jack.
I know. One of your other readers, she was like, yeah, because the last time you said it, I went and I filmed the book of Jasper. I said, yeah, that book is real good, right? She talking about, I said, okay. Don't worry about when she finished the next book. Read it.
And then read the testaments of the trail patriarchs.
Yeah.
Now that's
my favorite.
Baby.
My favorite one out of them is Reuben's and how you say his name? Ishkar.
Yeah.
When he talked about when she gave him the apples and that's how he was birthed because she gave. That's them two right there is my favorite.
You just like wow.
The thing is, and this is what she have said several times, but I don't think people really be hearing her. That I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about average readers of hers. If you think this is good, go and read those.
Man.
So like we read all that, and this scared me when I read the title on this. When it say the complete works, and you talking about volumes within there. Look,
this so good that we couldn't share this book. He had to order me one.
I just found it. I tried to get her to share it. She wouldn't share it.
Cause I like to mark up my books. Yeah. I like to ask questions in my book so I can later on answer the questions in the book. You know what I'm saying?
We'll never be finished.
Yeah.
We'll never be finished studying, y'all, and getting this truth in. After this, I'm looking at Philo. And then on top of that, I got a brother that I follow on Patreon. And I probably pay more than what I should pay. But I follow this brother on Patreon, and this brother hit me with so much stuff that my eyes just crossed. And I thought I read a lot of stuff. My eyes just go cross. I'm like,
this brother, y'all probably seen his Kingdom Harbinger. Y'all probably seen some of his
KHM,
some of his
Divine
videos
Prospect.
on Divine Prospect on YouTube. He one of them arts that like always like have debates with the Egyptologists and the Kemetic boys and stuff. You know, see who brain the big man. This I got so much information in his brain, man. I'm just like, Abiyah chose everybody to do what they do, and this I just got information. Just his brain is full of information, and it's beautiful. I love it.
But these resources, I love resources.
Me too.
And
he remind me of Benayah Israel.
Benayah.
Benayah,
Benayah,
another one. Benayah got me wanting to do a DNA test now.
Yeah.
Cause all the stuff.
Don't be scared to do a DNA test.
Man, cause all the stuff he doing now, he using his DNA test to track his tribe, everything. This brother didn't track from the fact that he from Judah.
My only reservation is what they do with my DNA.
They got my DNA. I had 8 babies.
Yeah.
They got my DNA.
They got my stems. They got my DNA. They got my placenta.
My placenta. Because who know what that means? You know.
Those are valid points. You didn't eat your placenta?
No.
We don't do that.
No.
Y'all know that's a thing, right?
I've seen that chick
Y'all
eat
know
that
that's a
placenta.
thing.
They make them into pills now. They make them into pills. They make them into pills now. They take your placenta and you can send it off. And they make it into pills, and then they send it back to you so you can take them. They say it's good for your blood.
We gotta stop.
So you don't know whose placenta they sending back to you. What if it gets mixed up with somebody else's, and now you eating somebody else's placenta?
And even if you was eating your own and it was right, what kind of witchcraft is this? What kind of?
I just ate my womb. I ate my stomach lining.
The blood and the
the
vessels and all. What scripture say we supposed to eat blood? Where was that?
No.
Can you give me the book, chapter, and verse?
Placenta is flesh, so like I'm eating my own stomach flesh. That's cannibalism. We gotta stop this. This is why I say, don't do what the Gentiles do because it's strange and it's wicked. That's cannibalism.
And they be sitting there talking about, look how beautiful my skin looks, and I be like, ew.
Coach Joyce said Coach Gilead said she knows someone that does that. Oh my God.
I've heard that. Kane says.
Coach Hebrew, is it a Hebrew? Or is it?
It's a brew. It's a brew, but you have Gentiles. When you say Gentiles,
I know 2 brews that do it. 2 girls. They just had babies and they do it.
Okay.
They sent it off.
These not brews that know they brews, are they?
Obviously.
Please
not.
tell me that at least.
Well, one don't know. One don't know, but the other one said it's because of the way they did it. It's no longer. It's still your blood. I don't care how you look at it. I can't even explain it. It's still your blood.
We
one don't know.
Be aware, fam. I want y'all to be aware. There are brews who say they know they are brews. There are brews who know they are brews, who still participate in witchcraft.
So do.
Who still participate in astrology and zodiac, all that type of stuff. Who participate in soothsaying and being mediums and all that type of stuff. There are brews, fam. There are brews who still deal with all of this stuff that know they are brews and are incorporating all these things into one thing. Like, oh, well, see, in all actuality, it all go together.
Yeah.
It don't.
I listened to this witch talk. I was watching
like sage and smudging and stuff. You're not supposed to do that.
About that sage. Now, this is a lot of brews who believe in doing a sage. And when they ask me my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, just last week, watching an interview with an ex-witch. And so she was saying, the lady was asking her, like, what are some things, some signs? She was telling the lady how witches is hiding everywhere. There's witches everywhere. People that you talk to that you may not know it, they're a witch, you know. So the lady asked her, like, what are some signs to let us know that we're dealing with a witch? She was like, first thing you're gonna do, like if you come into a witch house, you're gonna walk through some sage. Because, you know, she say the sage is the way that we call on some kind of ancestral spirits to keep our house protected from any spirits that may seek to harm us. So, you know, the first thing you're gonna do, you know, first sign is if she burning sage, she's a witch. You know what I'm saying? And then she just went through all these lists. And I'm like, man, I done bumped into a lot of damn witches. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness.
And here's the crazy part though. Like the spirits that's gonna harm you if you're a witch is the spirit of Yah. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something about somebody that's walking into your house with the spirit of Yah. Your sage ain't gonna touch you.
Ain't gonna do nothing.
And, yeah.
It's like an instant. You with them ghosts like, ooh, give us some more of the ghost repellent.
Yeah. What's that, ghost repellent?
Is that ghost repellent? Give us some more of the ghost repellent.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. It's soothing, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, these things are steeped in something. Like I know we talked about it before. I didn't know that sage literally does cleanse the air. So I mean that's the thing. The question is, what are you using it for?
I got a purifier. I got an air purifier. I just use that. You use your sage, and I'm using my machine. I put me a couple drops of lavender in there, soothing, you know, and I let it go and purify the air.
Your source power is always the question in everything.
Well, I have a question. What about Juneteenth? It's not a religious holiday.
I don't celebrate any days that are not scriptural moedim personally. That include birthdays, that include Juneteenth. I understand what Juneteenth is. I had never heard of it until I moved to
the South.
To the South.
Yeah.
But I don't celebrate Juneteenth just like I don't celebrate the 4th of July.
Yep.
I think it's an interesting conversation. But, you know, what are we celebrating? What were they freed from?
I know.
At that point, what were they allowed and able to do?
I know.
Did Jim Crow cease to exist at that point? The black codes, the black laws, did all that stuff stop?
Nope.
If it didn't, then it still was just a facade.
I think what it is our people trying to have something of ours, not knowing that we have a whole wealth of feast days that Abiyah gave us strictly for us to keep. But we didn't know that. And so we didn't feel comfortable celebrating the 4th of July because we wasn't free during the 4th of July. So somebody said, well, the last slave was freed from Galveston on Juneteenth, so that'll be ours. We'll have that. So in our need to try to find something for us, they found Juneteenth. But my only issue with that is we have something for us. You know what I'm saying? Something beautiful. And we perish from lack of knowledge. That's what the book says.
I'll give you another one I don't celebrate, but I don't. Here's the thing. I'm not judging anybody or knocking anybody who does.
I'm not gonna like, oh, you Juneteenthers are going to hell. No,
I don't deal with Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And that's another one that's very similar. It's like, okay, well, this was created by somebody and this is just for us. Well, I don't need you to create something that's just for us because, as Rib said, we have something that's just for us. Let's dig into that.
Yeah.
Let's see what that's about, and perhaps we can be proud of and uplift that in the same way that we were taught to be proud of and uplift the 4th of July, Juneteenth, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all that. Like we should be even more ecstatic and jubilant about these Moedim as we were. One of the ways I like to think of it is, if I could go that hard in my wickedness before I knew better, I should go equally as hard, if not more so, in trying to do righteousness.
Now we'll go to the Juneteenth celebration and hand out some flyers, spread the good news.
I'll go to the Juneteenth festival and walk through the crowd and talk to people, whatever. I may go to the Juneteenth festival just to see what's going on, but is it something that? Listen, we still haven't conquered these feast days yet. Mm-hmm. As far as like all there is to know about them and the intricacies and how they relate to Messiah, we still peeling back the layers of those onions every year. I'm not adding nothing else to my plate. I'm trying to get that right.
We got 7 set apart feasts that we set apart. Juneteenth ain't one of them.
And they take up a lot of our time. Like throughout the year, you know what I'm saying? Every time I look up, we got another one coming up. That I got to tell my job, like, hey, I need this day off.
Yeah.
What for? Well, I'm observing a feast day.
A biblical feast day. Yeah. Coach Keisha, you have something?
Yeah. So when I was thinking about Juneteenth, because I'm just gonna be honest, I feel like I should get the day off work because I get the day off work for July the 4th, and I feel like they should pay me.
Mm-hmm. However, I support that. I'm not knocking that.
However, I was like, well, I have celebrated it before, and I was like, well, this year I'm just not going to work because I feel like that's just not fair. Then I started looking at some of the things that were going on, like a Greek step show and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, so these are not things that I need to be participating in anyway. And I can't even figure out sometimes, still trying to figure out when I'm supposed to be doing no servile work and that type stuff, and learning how to read the signs and that kind of thing. So for me, it's a no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I like what you said there, because when you point out that you're still trying to figure out how to observe his days better, that's where we should be putting our time at. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop trying to do the Greek thing, family.
Man.
The Greek thing stemmed from the Egypt thing, and that stemmed from the Babylon thing, and the Assyrian thing, and all of those other things, the Medo-Persian things. We should, this whole society that we live in now is steeped on the Greek thing. Let go of the Greek thing. Just the same way he told us to let go of the Egypt thing. Let go of the Greek thing.
Yeah.
Focus on his days, just like you said. That is enough.
I'm telling you.
That is a task in itself.
Especially
you will not get bored. You will not feel like you got it conquered?
I would tell you what's been on my heart a lot these last few days. And I guess that's why, I've been working on I really been working on my bag, like, just focusing on putting things in a bag that's, because I've moved that bag is real estate. I've moved some things out to move some more potent things in. But what keep coming to me is the story of the 10 virgins, the parable of the 10 virgins, about how 5 was prepared and 5 wasn't prepared. And it keep coming to me, y'all. I mean, I was in the tub the other day. It came to me again, and I don't know, man. I don't know. We really need to be prepared. We need to be getting prepared. Reading through this, I don't think it's a coincidence. We're reading through this at this time, learning what to do and what not to do. You know what I'm saying? When it go down, you really got to keep your cool, man. You gotta. Because you're not just it's like I tell people, everybody's all like, we living in the last days, the Antichrist coming. I'm like, the Antichrist is like the last thing you as a brew who know you're a brew need to worry about. Because the Antichrist, this big boogeyman that's been painted for you, but I'm telling you, you gonna be your own Antichrist. You're gonna be your own worst enemy in this day.
The book of John said there are many anti-messiahs. Yep. So it's not that, in other words, it's not just a one that you're looking for.
Yep.
It's a spirit. And so if you can identify that spirit, test the spirit by the spirit. If you can identify that spirit, then you know what you should be steering clear of. And if you can identify the fruits of the spirit, then you can identify the spirit of those and the things that you should be gravitating toward.
And if that, in this last day, if that spirit on you, because when we go into the world, when it's happened again, because the Bible said it's gonna happen. If the Bible said it's gonna happen again, then it's gonna happen. When we don't want to go and repeat the same mistakes our forefathers repeated. Our forefathers did. That's why Abiyah took the time out to give us these stories. Each thing that they did that he was displeased with. We have to prepare. This is crunch time. This is prepare time. So that when you get in that wilderness, man, you got to face yourself. You got to deal with yourself. You know what I mean? You got to rebuke demons off yourself daily, hourly, constantly. A demon of jealousy. We see Miriam. It hit her.
And if we knew better, we would know that we need to be doing that right now.
Yeah.
Not waiting until we get to the wilderness, because all of us have things that we should be tuning up and tightening up right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Once you get to the wilderness, I'll be honest with y'all, fam, it's kind of like too late.
Too late, I know, right? If you even make it there.
Because the prophecies about the wilderness say that at that point he's going to be parsing out the fools from the wise.
Yeah.
Those who are for him separated from those who are not for him, the wheat from the rye, all of those parables, right? And the thing is, like, you know that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Once you get there, it's a little bit late to be trying to get it.
So to change who you are as a person. That's true. That's true.
Think about the first wilderness and those who made it and those who didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a little late at that point.
Today, me and my husband in the medical journal, they're going to start letting parents pick the sex of the baby. So, and when my husband got through reading this in the medical journal, he literally looked at me and said, "We need to start preparing our bag." He said, "Any minute now, we're gonna hear some horns or something." Because this right here, he was, they are ready to start letting you decide what sex you want your baby to be known as.
And that's just the beginning, Cole.
They already.
They say eye color. You could pick eye color. You could pick intelligent level.
I forget what they call that. Fashion designer babies. That's right. Yeah.
I would say they've been doing that since like the 90s. Now it's out in the opening, but they've been doing it.
If you could afford it,
if you can afford it.
They already
no. Well, now, well, the thing about it is they're trying to get rid of male and female. They're trying to say now it's, you know what I'm saying? It's a different. So what they're doing is, so say you have a little boy baby, you can decide and say, I don't want him to be known as a boy. I want him to be known as a girl. And so then they'll give you the option of making, you know, the baby into what
they're gonna. So they're gonna go in and play with their DNA and remove X, Y chromosomes or whatever, and so they're gonna manipulate the DNA, is what they're saying.
So yes, so
days of Noah. So shall it be?
It's already in the work. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, when he read that today, he looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, we gotta start packing."
Yep,
he said it's gonna be the scroll in the sky. It's gonna be something.
They was doing that in the days of Noah, and man.
It's two prophecies that I read about this place. One of them say it's gonna be a place for all types of haunts and demons.
Sure do.
So wicked spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And another one say that it's gonna be a hole in the earth where this place used to be. So it's gonna be a hole in the earth. So that's how wicked it's gonna be.
So think about like in I
want to be out of here before that.
I know in Black Beauty. when Dollar Bill was walking through to the meeting and he was saying how and lurking in every corner is just you know what I'm saying? And the beginning of Black Beauty when Dawid was riding, just spirits lurking in every corner, watching, you know. Scripture say this place gonna turn into a place full of hunts and demons.
I'll be honest, that's how I feel already. When I leave my house, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm going out into that. And when I come home, I'm coming back to a place that's a safe zone, like home base when you're playing hide and seek or tag or or whatever.
That's what it's like, man. You watch the news, man. You turn on the news every day. The stories get more astonishing. You know, just when was it? This last story, the boy shot the girl. I want to say in the face or something. I don't have me lying. I don't have me ad-libbing, but I was it was in the background playing while I was getting ready to go to the grocery store. And I'm just thinking like, goodness gracious, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. This last story, the boy was in the neighborhood going to pick up his friends, and he made his tires, he skied it out. So he made his tires go, you know. And them men jumped on him, threw a brick through his window, a big old...
Like they don't do the same thing.
Yeah, right. And they kids don't do the same thing. And told him, you get out of our neighborhood.
The traffic call.
Trayvon Martin died in. That he got killed in.
Same neighborhood.
Wow.
Same neighborhood. I'm telling you.
You know, our youth are just they don't have a base. You know, they used to be honor amongst thieves and you know and there's no honor among anyone about anything. We have gone to lawlessness.
Yep.
It's like living in
Our internet telling us it's time to go, fam.
Yeah, fam. We're going to have to say good night.
Yeah.
Our internet say if you don't do it, you're going to lose everything.
Love y'all, family.
Love y'all.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Good night, family.
2 o'clock
For all of y'all that are interested.
All right.
Good night.
Thank
family. You, Mr. Apple.
All right. Shalom. Love y'all.
Shalom, Akeem. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have more brothers in.
Yeah.
Always beautiful.
All right, y'all.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Night.
See y'all tomorrow.
Shalom. See you tomorrow. Y'all willing.
The wig on my people. Wig on my people. me to wake up.